How I Mastered English Alone in My Room. Listen closely. You think you are failing because you have no one to talk to. You believe the lie that fluency requires a partner, a tutor, or a plane ticket. You are wrong. Your room is not a cell. It is an incubator. Today, we perform an autopsy on your silence. Today, your rebirth begins. Look around you. These four walls, the desk, the window, the silence that feels like it's suffocating your progress. You call this loneliness. You call this a disadvantage. You think, if only I had a partner. If only I had a native speaker to correct my broken sentences, I would finally be free. Stop. Look at yourself. You are waiting for a saviour who isn't coming. And here is the brutal truth. You don't need one. In fact, your solitude is the greatest gift you have ever been given. It is the only place where you can fail without shame. It is the only sanctuary where you can truly go to war with your own mind. Most people are slaves to the judgment of others. They speak to impress, not to express. But you? In this room, you are the king and the subject. You are the architect and the stone. We are going to turn this isolation into your private training ground. This is not about learning a language. It is about a coup d'état against the analytical brain that has kept you a prisoner for years. Why have you stayed in the desert for so long? Let us perform an autopsy on your failure. Every time you try to speak, your heart races. Your jaw tightens. Your breath becomes shallow. Why? Because your brain is trying to solve a puzzle instead of feeling a vibration. You have been taught to treat English like a math equation. You think if you just find the right formula, the perfect grammar rule, you will arrive at the oasis. But English does not live in your textbooks. It does not live in your logic. It lives in your muscles. It lives in the physical movement of your tongue and the raw resonance of your chest. The reason you can't speak is not because you lack a partner. It is because you have a neurological blockage. You are overthinking and underfeeling. You are a slave to rules that were written by people who never understood the warrior's spirit. You are trying to build a legacy with a broken tool. Imagine, for a moment, a different reality. Imagine waking up and feeling the English language resting on your tongue, ready to be unleashed. Imagine the silence of your room being replaced by the sound of your own voice, unbreakable, unstoppable, and raw. This is the promise of the oasis. I am not here to give you more vocabulary to memorize. I am here to give you a mindset revolution. We are going to dismantle the slave to rules and build the oasis warrior. A warrior who doesn't wait for permission to speak. A warrior who creates their own world. The path to fluency is not found in a crowded classroom or a noisy cafe. It is found right here, in the brutal, beautiful silence of your own space. It is found in the obsession. It is found in the rebirth of your identity. You have been told that you need money, centres, and social circles. That is a lie designed to keep you weak. The most powerful speakers in history were forged in the fire of their own thoughts. They talked to themselves until the voices of doubt were drowned out by the roar of their own conviction. When you are alone, you can experiment. You can make mistakes that would make a teacher cringe, and you can laugh at them. You can repeat a single phrase 100 times until it feels like a physical part of your body. This is how you build neural pathways, not by listening to others talk, but by feeling the vibration of your own truth. The desert is a place of endless translation, a prison where you turn your native thoughts into English shadows. The oasis is where you stop translating and start existing in the language. Do you feel that? The slight tightness in your chest? That is the old you resisting the transformation. That is the slave trying to pull you back to the comfort of your excuses. Let it burn. We are moving toward a silent power that no one can take from you. You are about to embark on a journey that is deeply narrative and psychological. We are going to use your phone, your mirror, and your own breath to craft a legacy of fluency. You will no longer look at your room as a place of isolation, but as the ground where you claimed your victory. You are not just learning words. You are claiming your right to be heard by the world. The world is waiting for the version of you that is forged in this room. Before we proceed to the system that will change your life, look at your reflection. Truly look. Are you ready to stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the architect of your own voice? Comment below. I am the architect. I want to see who is ready to leave the desert behind forever. Listen. The architect does not build a cathedral by staring at the sky. He builds it stone by stone. You are in your room. You have no partner. Good. That means there is no one to distract you from the brutal work of reconstruction. We are going to build your fluency through 3 physical pillars: the mirror autopsy, the shadow echo, and the digital legacy. This is not study time. This is a training camp for your soul. Forget the pens. Forget the notebooks. Stand up. Your body is the instrument, and we are about to tune it to a new frequency. The first pillar is the mirror autopsy. Walk to your mirror. Look at your face. Most students fail because they try to speak English with the muscles of their native tongue. Your mouth is a machine, and right now it is programmed for the wrong language. You are trying to run modern software on ancient hardware. It will always crash. When you speak English, your jaw must drop further. Your tongue must dance differently. Your lips must find a new tension. This is why you feel tired after 5 minutes of speaking, because you are using muscles that have been dormant for 20 years. This is the physicality of the warrior. Pick one sentence, one powerful sentence. I am the architect of my own destiny. Now, say it to the mirror. Don't look at your eyes. Look at your mouth. Watch the shape of the O in own. Watch the bite of the D in destiny. Is your jaw tight? Is your neck strained? That tension is the desert trying to choke your words. Relax. Breathe into your stomach. Say it again and again. 10 times, 20 times, until the sentence doesn't feel like a translation, but like a vibration in your teeth. You are performing a coup d'etat against your own biology. You are carving new neural pathways with every repetition. This is the raw, brutal work of rebirth. The second pillar is the shadow echo. This is where we bridge the gap between hearing and being. You don't need a partner. You need a ghost. Find a voice that resonates with your spirit. A speaker whose rhythm feels like the person you want to become. Put on your headphones. This is your sanctuary. When they speak, you don't wait for them to finish. You follow them. You are their shadow. If they pause, you pause. If they rise in anger, your voice rises in anger. If they whisper a secret, you whisper too. You are not mimicking. You are inhabiting their skin. Do you feel the racing heart? That is the sound of your brain trying to keep up. Let it race. Your brain will scream at you to stop, to analyze, to check the dictionary. Ignore it. The slave wants to understand. The warrior wants to command. In the beginning, you will stumble. You will swallow half the words. Your tongue will feel heavy, like lead. This is the proudly broken English phase. Embrace the mess. A child doesn't learn to walk by studying the physics of gravity. They learn by falling and getting back up. You are falling toward fluency. Every time you trip over a word and keep going, you are breaking the prison walls of perfectionism. The third pillar is the digital legacy. Pick up your phone. Open the voice recorder. This is your most honest friend and your most brutal critic. You are going to record a 1-minute report from the front lines. Tell the phone how your day went. Don't script it. Don't prepare. Just speak. Talk about the coffee you drank. Talk about the silence in your room. Talk about the warrior you are becoming. When you finish, press stop. Now, listen. This is the autopsy. This is where most people quit because they hate the sound of their own voice. They hear the hesitation. They hear the ums and ahs. They hear the desert in their accent. But you are an Oasis warrior. You listen to that recording not with shame, but with the cold eyes of a surgeon. You hear a mistake? Good. That is a target. You hear a long silence? That is a gap in your armor. Record it again. The same story. The same 1 minute. But this time, eliminate one This time, sharpen one vowel. Record it a 3rd time. A 4th. A 10th. By the 10th recording, something miraculous happens. The hesitation vanishes. The shadow of your native language retreats. The voice coming out of the speaker sounds like a stranger, a stronger, more confident version of you. That is your legacy beginning to take shape. You are doing this alone, but you are not lonely. You are in deep conversation with the best version of yourself. You are building a silent power that will shock the world. When you finally step out of this room, You are transforming your environment into a laboratory of excellence. Every corner of your room now has a purpose. The mirror is for precision. The headphones are for rhythm. The phone is for truth. You are no longer a student. You are a practitioner of a craft. You are obsessed with the texture of the sounds. You are obsessed with the survival of your spirit. Can you feel the shift? Can you feel the room getting smaller and your presence getting larger? The four walls are no longer closing in. They are pushing you upward. But I have to ask you something that keeps most people trapped in the desert forever. When you hear your own voice on that recorder, do you hear a victim making excuses? Or do you hear a warrior preparing for battle? Tell me the truth. What is the one sound, the one word, that you have been most afraid to say out loud? Listen. We have the pillars. We have the mirror, the shadows, and the recordings. But now we must address the ghost in the room, the silence. There will be days when the walls feel like they are closing in. There will be moments when your own voice sounds like a stranger you don't even like. This is the psychological burnout. This is the moment most people retreat back to the desert because it is easier to be silent than to be misunderstood by yourself. But an Oasis warrior knows that the burnout is not the end. It is the friction of the old skin peeling away. We are going to master the scriptless flow and the emotional anchor to ensure your survival. The scriptless flow is the coup d'etat against the dictionary. Most students are slaves to translation. They think in their native tongue, build a wall of grammar, and then try to jump over it into English. This is why you stutter. This is why your brain freezes. You are trying to carry two worlds at once. In your room, alone, you must stop translating. From this moment on, the objects in this room no longer have names in your first language. That is not a kaiban. It is a desk. That is not a curso. It is a window. Don't just say the word. Feel the wood. Touch the glass. Connect the physical sensation to the English sound. This is how you bypass the analytical brain and go straight to the nervous system. Now, we practice the stream of consciousness. Walk around your room. Point at things and describe them. Not just their names, but their stories. This desk has seen my struggle. It holds my coffee and my dreams. The wood is cold today. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about being correct. Just keep the air moving. If you don't know a word, don't stop. Describe it. If you forget the word for curtains, call them the blue clothes of the window. This is the secret of the unstoppable speaker. They don't have a perfect vocabulary. They have the agility to dance around what they don't know. They have the proudly broken English that refuses to stay silent. Why does this matter? Because in the real world, there are no subtitles. There are no pause buttons. If you can't flow in the safety of your bedroom, you will drown in the ocean of a real conversation. You are training your brain to stay in the English frequency, even when it is difficult. You are building a sanctuary where English is the only law. When you talk to yourself, you are not crazy. You are rehearsing for your future. You are taking the raw, brutal energy of your thoughts and forcing them into a new shape. You are transforming your internal monologue into a weapon of clarity. But what happens when the motivation dies? What happens when you wake up and the warrior feels like a fraud? This is where we use the emotional anchor. Language is not just sound, it is emotion. You are learning English because you want a better life. You want a legacy. You want to be unbreakable. When you feel the burnout, I want you to close your eyes. Visualize the version of you that is already fluent. See yourself standing in a room full of people, speaking with a silent power that commands respect. Feel the vibration of that success in your chest. Now, speak from that place. Don't speak as the struggling student. Speak as the master who is simply practicing. This is the mindset revolution. You are not trying to learn. You are reclaiming what is already yours. Most people treat English like a chore, like washing the dishes. No. English is your sanctuary. It is the place where you go to become someone else. Someone stronger, someone more daring. When you are alone, you can shout, you can cry in English. You can express the anger you feel toward the desert. Use that emotion. If you are frustrated, vent in English. If you are happy, celebrate in English. When you attach a strong emotion to a word, that word becomes a permanent part of your neural pathways. It is no longer a study item. It is a memory. Look at your phone again. I want you to try a new exercise. The future self interview. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Pretend you are being interviewed by a major global channel. They are asking how you became so successful. Answer them. Talk about the nights you spent alone in this room. Talk about the mirror and the recordings. Talk about the moments you almost quit. Do you hear the change in your tone? When you speak about your passion, your English becomes more fluid. The slave to rules vanishes because the heart has taken over. This is the goal. This is the transformation. We are moving from the head to the heart. You are building an unbreakable habit. Every day, even if it is only for 15 minutes, you enter the oasis. You speak. You flow. You record. You reflect. You are not waiting for a partner because you have realized that the most important conversation you will ever have is the one you are having with yourself. If you can convince yourself that you are a speaker, you can convince the world. The world only reflects what you believe in the dark. In this room, in this silence, you are building the foundation of a life without limits. Before we move to the final phase, the emotional rebirth, think about the wall you are facing right now. Not the physical wall, but the mental one. What is the one excuse that keeps whispering, "You can't do this alone"? Write it down on a piece of paper. Look at it. Then, I want you to say out loud, in your strongest voice, "I am enough." Say it until you believe it. Say it until the walls shake. Are you ready to see what lies on the other side of your fear? Look at these walls one last time. For months, or perhaps years, you have seen them as boundaries. You have seen them as the limits of your world. But look again. These walls have heard your whispers. They have witnessed your stumbles. They have felt the heat of your frustration when the words wouldn't come, and the cool relief of the moment they finally did. You are not the same person who entered this room at the beginning of this journey. That person was a seeker, lost in the shifting sands of the desert, begging for a guide, a partner, a miracle. But the person standing here now? You are the miracle. You are the architect. You are the one who stayed when everyone else walked away. You are the one who chose the brutal honesty of the mirror over the comfortable lies of the crowd. This is your sanctuary. This is where the warrior was born. Do you feel the weight of the silence now? It is no longer heavy. It is full. It is pregnant with the power of everything you have practiced. Every recording you made, even the ones you hated, was a brick in the foundation of your new life. Every time you spoke to your reflection until your jaw ached, you were rewriting your DNA. You were telling your brain that the old rules no longer apply. You have performed a coup d'état against the version of you that was afraid to be seen. You have murdered the slave to grammar and replaced him with the Oasis warrior. And now the room can no longer hold you. The four walls are stretching, expanding, dissolving. Your voice is no longer confined to this space. It is ready to echo across the world. There will be people who meet you soon. They will hear you speak, and they will be stunned. They will ask you, "Where did you learn to speak like that? What school did you go to? Who was your teacher?" And you will look them in the eye with a silent power that they cannot understand. You will smile because you know the truth. You will know that your teacher was the mirror. Your classroom was a corner of your bedroom. Your partner was the recording on your phone. You will know that you didn't buy this fluency. You forged it in the fire of your own obsession. You didn't wait for the world to give you a chance. You created your own world. That is the legacy of the lone warrior. That is the pride of the Oasis. I want you to realize something profound. Most people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect conditions. They wait for the right time, the right person, the right amount of money. They die in the desert, still waiting. But you? You understood that the only right thing is your own will. You realized that being alone was not a curse, but a sacred opportunity to build something unbreakable. You have learned to trust your own ears. You have learned to rely on your own breath. You have found a strength that those who always have a partner will never know. Because when you are alone, there is no one to hide behind. There is only the truth. And the truth has set you free. Take a deep breath. Feel it expand in your chest. That breath is English. That vibration in your throat is your future. You are no longer learning a language. You are living it. You are a different human being. You walk differently. You think differently. You see the world not as a series of obstacles, but as a series of conversations waiting to happen. The fear that once paralyzed you, the racing heart, the tight jaw, it hasn't disappeared, but it has changed. It is no longer the fear of a victim. It is the adrenaline of a conqueror. You are ready to step out. You are ready to take this raw, brutal, beautiful voice and claim your place in the sun. The desert is behind you now. The oasis is not a place you are looking for. It is a place you carry inside you. Wherever you go, the oasis goes. Whatever you say, the power follows. You have mastered the art of being your own greatest ally. You have turned your solitude into a sanctuary of excellence. Remember this feeling. Remember the smell of this room and the sound of your own voice in the dark. This was the beginning of your rebirth. This was the moment you decided that good enough was a prison and mastery was your only path. As you leave this room today, don't look back. The person you were is gone. The person you are becoming is limitless. You are an oasis warrior. You are unstoppable. You are unbreakable. The silence is over. Now, it is time for the world to listen. Go out there and speak your truth. Go out there and show them the power of a person who mastered their world, all by themselves, in a room just like this one. This is the end of the beginning. But before you go, I have one last mission for you. Tomorrow, when you wake up, don't reach for your phone to scroll. Reach for your phone to record. Speak to your future self for 60 seconds. Tell that person that you are proud of them. Tell them that you didn't quit. And if you are ready to make that promise, comment legacy below. I will see you at the next sanctuary. Until then, keep the fire burning. Keep the voice moving. You are the architect of your destiny.